What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite YouTuber, Austin Holloman, here in Istanbul, Turkey. Like the video and subscribe if you guys have not already, because today I will teach you guys about my top 4 most convenient cities around the world. This was requested by a subscriber, so thank you very much for the idea that you left in the comments. Now, these are in order by which one I feel is the most convenient and why. These places I could live at long term just because they are so convenient, but that does not mean I will do that or ever will do that. But I will tell you guys which ones I will live at. So, number 1 city out of 45 cities I've been to around the world that's not in the United States that's most convenient, in my opinion, is Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok, Thailand has rooftops. It has motorcycles. If you want to ride on a motorcycle, they have cars. You know, they have boat is what I'm talking about. They have movie theaters. They have 24-hour nightlife. Like the nightlife, literally, it could be midnight, 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 9 a.m. There's a party literally everywhere in Bangkok. Every single day I've been there, it's been like that. I've been to Bangkok 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times, I think. And it's always something to do. You know, there's a high-end side to Bangkok. You know, there's a luxury living in Bangkok. You know, if you want to buy electronics in Thailand, it seems like it might be the same price or even cheaper than you would pay in the United States. You can find food for $100 a person in Bangkok. You can find food for $1 a person in Bangkok. Okay, there's foreigners from all around the world in Bangkok. I met South Africans. I've met Nigerians. I've met Swedish. I've met Swiss. I've met Americans. I've met Australians. I've met Latin Americans, Brazilians in Bangkok. That is one of the most visited cities in the world. Everything is walking distance. And it's even more convenient because it's relatively cheap. The apartment that I stay at in Bangkok usually costs me $17 a night, and it's not a shithole. It's not a $50 a night, because that would get you something very nice in Bangkok, but you don't need to do that. Like, if you're asking for my advice in Bangkok, I would max out at $20 a night. That's just my thing. I'm not gonna, because it's so cheap, I'm trying to take advantage. I'm not at a point in my life where I'm trying to spend money just to, I'm gonna pay for it. No, I'm still trying to save money for my future. And I'm going to be doing that for a while. Doesn't mean I don't have any money to spend. It's just where I'm at in my life. And a lot of you guys need to be there kind of late to it. So Bangkok is my number 1 most convenient city in the entire world that I've been to. Number 2 is Pattaya, Thailand, which is about an hour south of Bangkok. But the thing that it has better than Bangkok is it has a beach. Now the beach is not that pretty, but it's there. And it makes that, I like that humidity. And Bangkok seems to be pretty humid too, but Pattaya is just very humid. Pattaya has beachfront gyms where you have a view of the ocean. Pattaya also has extreme nightlife. There's a red light district if you're into that. Pretty much most of the 4 major cities in Thailand is a red light district. Doesn't mean that everybody in there participates, all the women in the country participate. But it's not that hard to not notice, and it's not that hard to stumble across it a couple of times when you're trying to date women there. That you find out that they're part of that they about that life is what I'm trying to say, right? Pattaya is even cheaper than Bangkok, from my understanding. One thing that Bangkok has over Pattaya is that there's an international airport. If they have an airport in Pattaya, but like it's not as convenient. And so you would still end up going to Bangkok. If you want to fly to another country, fly back home, Bangkok is better for travel. And I'd like to stay in places too where I can just travel. I can always go to Pattaya anytime I want because it's just an hour away by car. There's no point in even flying it. The plane would be in the air like literally 5 minutes. So anyway, it makes no sense. Now, you can buy electronics. They have just as many movie theaters. In my opinion, if you move to Pattaya, where everybody is at, you know, I forgot the name of the road next to the beach that everybody hangs out at. But if you guys really want to experience Pattaya, you have to get out of that area. And it's a completely different vibe once you leave that area. But it's very convenient. Cheap massages in Thailand. You know, movie theaters, always something going on. You'll never be bored because there's always a lot of expats. Now, they seem to be very, very filled with drama over there, but they're there. You know, it's just a lot to do, and it's cheap overall in Thailand, but I think that Bangkok is just way more convenient. And there's way more to do in Bangkok. Okay? But the air is better in Pattaya compared to Bangkok. Bangkok's air quality is horrible. Horrible. That's why I don't live there. But it's still convenient. If I had to live in Asia, I would live in Bangkok. Now, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Latin America, is my third most convenient city. The reason it's number 3, and because you guys know I love Brazilian people, I love Brazilian music, culture, women. I just love Brazil. I love Brazil. It's literally my number 1 country around the world. If not, Brazil is Kenya. Now, Sao Paulo has almost 20 million people. Everything is walkable. You know, you can walk down, like where my apartment was, and there's many places like this. Even where Casey Redbeard Ranch was staying at, both of us could walk downstairs. There's restaurants. In mine, there was a strip of like 10 bars. Literally, as soon as you open the front door to my apartment complex, 10 bars, little mom and pop restaurant shops, a grocery store is literally next door. You could just throw a rock at it from the front door of my apartment complex. That's how close it was. Next door to my apartments. And if I walked another 10 or 15 minutes, I could be at the gym. And it was faster for me to walk that 10 or 15 minutes rather than wait on the Uber sometimes. And I saved money. And then 15 minutes from there, I like to smoke cigars. The cigar shop was there. I also bump into many other restaurants along the way. I pass a movie theater along the way. That city, walkable cities is what makes them convenient. If you can't walk to a gym, a grocery store, and a nearby restaurant within 30 minutes, that city's not convenient. I wish I would live in a city that it takes me 45 minutes to walk by to the nearest grocery store or restaurant. That's Texas, right? Most people know if you live in Texas, most neighborhoods are about a 45-minute walk from the grocery store. Unless if you live in the heart of Dallas or in the heart of hell, even if you live in downtown Fort Worth, I don't think it's like that. You know, you would have to live in a central location. But in these major cities like Sao Paulo and Bangkok, you don't even have to be in this downtown central area for it to be set up that way. Now, Sao Paulo is less convenient because unlike Bangkok and Pattaya, they don't speak English. And they do have people that speak English just like anywhere else in the world, but don't think you'll go move to don't even think you're going to visit Sao Paulo for a week and won't get a headache because you don't speak Portuguese. So you need to know Portuguese. Versus Thailand, Bangkok and Pattaya, I don't know. The only word I know how to say in Thai is sarikat. And you don't need to know nothing. Unless if you're worried about locals talking shit about you in their language, you know, other than that, that's the only reason I think you would need to know Thai. Thai does not leave Thailand. Once you leave Thailand, nobody else speaks Thai. And everybody in Thailand, just for the most part that I met, was damn near fluent. I probably met 5 people out of all 4 major cities, and I was there for 3 months in total that did not know English fluently. And a lot of Asia is like that from my understanding as well. But Sao Paulo is not like that. Now, Sao Paulo is a little more expensive. That's why it's lower on the list. Sao Paulo is dangerous. Not for me. You know, I didn't feel any danger. But as a woman, when I was walking around, I was like, this is dangerous for a woman. You know, as a man, I don't think most men would have too many issues. But as a woman, I could see how she would feel in danger being here. Most of the time, people said, be careful when you go outside. It was a woman telling. Usually, men didn't tell me, like, oh, it's dangerous here. You know, but women did tell me that. So if you're a woman wanting to move to Sao Paulo, take that into consideration. You need to stay in the nicest part of town. Yeah, Itaim, I believe, is the name of that neighborhood that I would recommend. So, Sao Paulo is also convenient because if you want to travel, it's just like Sao Paulo has the same type of airport like Turkey or Bangkok, where you can literally fly, well, let me say Qatar. You can fly literally anywhere in the world from Sao Paulo. You can fly to any Latin American country directly. You can fly to Europe directly. You can fly to South Africa directly. You can fly to Asia directly. I mean, you might have to stop in Qatar, but it's a hub. It's not a place like Paraguay where if you want to go to Colombia, you can't just fly there. Like if you want to go to Colombia, you can fly into Paraguay from Colombia because I did that. But if you want to go to Colombia, I had to literally jump to another country. And when I wanted to fly to Chile, I had to jump to Argentina first, then go to Chile. But I could fly right back, but I had to jump somewhere else first. That's not a good place to be for a base because if you need to leave and go somewhere right away, Sao Paulo is a better bet. We're talking about Latin America. But dating, there's plenty of women. I don't like Asian women. That's why I didn't bring them up in the first one. But dating in Sao Paulo, you have a lot of options. There's a lot of beautiful white women there. There's a black women there too. Pretty much non-existent for me. But you have a lot of, there's 20 million people there. So, and the women all go to the gym. And they're mixed, so they all look beautiful. You know, even the white ones that I'm calling white, they're still a little mixed at some point. So the women there are very flaky. But overall, if you ask me, it has a better dating scene than a place like Bangkok. Like, I'd rather run into flaky women than run into women and then 5 minutes later after I get their number, find out they're an escort. You know, I'd rather, you know, I don't want to deal with that. So, anyway, last on the list is my favorite city in the world, perhaps. But I know in Africa is my favorite city, which is Nairobi, Kenya. Been wearing that bracelet for almost a year straight now, about 10 months now. Nairobi, Kenya is it's not the most convenient on a world scale because it's not as developed. But if we talk about the 7 countries I've been to in Africa, it's most convenient. Some people might bring up South Africa. One thing that South Africa does not have over Nairobi is safety. I know that for a fact. Like, it's, of course, there's crime that happens in Nairobi, but I've never been a victim of crime. Like, I've never even felt like I was in crime. There's a lot of areas where I felt like, hey, even as a woman, I think should be a right here. And I know some things have happened to some women that I've met there, like they've been robbed, or at least attempted to be robbed. But East Africans are known as peaceful Africans. Like, there's the least amount of crime in East Africa, from my understanding. So throw that in there already. Nairobi's safe. They have amazing food. Everybody's super friendly. You can fly almost to any African country from Nairobi. It's one of the hub airports. Ethiopia, Nairobi, South Africa, and I believe that's it. You know, I believe maybe Nigeria, but like most of Africa does not have a good airport system. You know, they're not good with that. So, but if you are worried about that, Nairobi is a good place for that, in my opinion. The women are very friendly, like I said. I have a tailor in Nairobi. Nairobi is good. I'm a social media influencer, so Nairobi's very good for social media. It's cheap. It probably costs slightly less than Sao Paulo, but not as cheap as Bangkok and Pattaya. But so I would put cost of living. I'd probably put it number 3. Nairobi is just a home. If you're a Black American, I know the slaves didn't come from Nairobi or they didn't come from Kenya in general, but I felt way more at home in Nairobi than I did in Ghana. Way more. Also, I'm Black, and it's convenient for me. I don't have to deal with really, I mean, you might have, which I don't think they're xenophobic in Nairobi at all. You might have some people that might be jealous of foreigners, but like racism and xenophobia, really not an issue. Now in Sao Paulo, they're not really xenophobic at all from what I saw, but they got some racist people there too. They're there. It's not all of them, but they're there. It's enough of them for you to notice it, okay? Bangkok, Thailand, believe it or not, they're nice to foreigners, but there is a lot of people in Thailand that don't like foreigners. And the Thai people have said, I've seen YouTube videos of Thai people saying this, and most Thai people you meet are nice to you, but yeah, get into a fight with one of them. You won't even be fighting one Thai. You have to fight everybody, you know? So they will protect their own. They don't like foreigners as much as you think. But they're very respectable people. But I think about maybe 30 of Thai people wish that y'all would get the hell out of Thailand. Just my opinion. Feel free to disagree in the comment section. Just know if I don't know you, I probably won't respond. So anyway, those are my top 4 cities around the world that are most convenient. Also, Nairobi. If you're looking for electronics, forget about it. They're either very high or they're not there anyway. Nairobi is not. Sao Paulo has electronics, but they're marked up 3-4 times the price. They'll be there. You know, this camera that I'm talking on right now costs $300. In Brazil, it would cost maybe around $1,000. So it's almost cheaper for you to fly back and stay home for a little bit and then come back. You know, that's why the iPhone stores are empty in Brazil, because it costs too fucking much. Same thing with Nairobi. They don't have iPhone stores there, but same thing. So those are my top 4 convenient cities. Give me your top 4 convenient cities in the comment section below. And remember, if you guys want more information like this one-on-one and you're looking for an experienced digital nomad to coach you, myself, Austin Holloman, you can book at the link below. We can talk about investing, dating, building remote income, and how to lower your cost of living and taxes as well. One-on-one, daily basis. We've already had people that have signed up, and their reviews will be on my website on how they are satisfied with the service. I love you guys. If you guys found that entertainment or informative, my Cash App is $, Austin Holloman. PayPal and Zelle is austinholloman@gmail. Anything is appreciated for whatever you feel the value of this video is. And share this with somebody that may be interested in this or may find it useful. And I will see you guys next time.